In the last video, we talked about the scientific notation in which we dealt with mainly with the tens exponent. Also, I made videos about how to convert numerical values into scientific notations and to convert scientific notation back to its numerical value form. So this video is kind of the extension of scientific notation, you can say that. So in this video we'll be talking about prefixes. So let me write first. We'll be talking about in this video are the prefixes. So what are prefixes? Well, before that, let me just start off by giving you guys an example. So let's say what should color I choose? Okay, let's say we have a physical quantity of some sort. Let's say we have the physical quantity of 7,000 meters. So here you can actually see that this is actually the numerical form, while this meter is actually its physical unit. That being said, let's first convert into scientific notation, shall we? So in scientific notation, this will be written as, let me have some space over here. This will be written as 7.0 times 10 power 3 meters. So here we have written in proper scientific notation. So let's first classify it into three parts, shall we? So this here 7.0 will be the numerical form, while this being the tens exponent form, and this here is the physical unit. So here is the numerical. I'm gonna skip writing the word form here. This is the exponential, while this is the physical unit. So these are the three parts. So in this video will be what is the part where we are mostly concerned in this video, since we're talking about prefixes, is the exponential form, is the exponential part here. So let's forget the numerical form and the physical unit for time being. Let's focus on the exponential form, which is actually the topic of this video. So let's focus on the exponential form. So here I want you guys to tell me, so what does the exponential, what does the tens power actually tells us? Well, for as you can see, tens power actually tells us that how large or small a quantity actually is. This is basically the function, this is what the tens exponent actually tells us, that how small or big a value or a quantity really is. So while it is okay to write the quantity as written as 7.0 times 10 power 3 meters, but it will be more convenient that we instead write this. So what we'll write? We will write 7.0 km. So I hope that you get the idea. So instead of writing 10 power 3, we instead let me just choose the right. Instead of writing 10 power 3, 10 exponent 3, we replaced it with the word k. So k is actually the prefix here. So k here really stands for kilo, and kilo, which basically means that k is for 10 power 3, 10 exponent of 3. So instead of writing here, instead of writing 7.0 times 10 power 3 meter, we instead replace the tens, a specific, mind you, a specific tens exponent with a specific alphabet or a symbol, and that specific alphabet or symbol will be known as as its prefix. So here I had tens power 3, and I have written k here. So k basically means kilo, which is used for tens power 3, which basically means tens power 3 or 1000. So the basic definitions, the definition for the simple definition for prefix will be, let me write down for your convenience. It will take some time. The prefixes are the letters that are used with but before physical units. To describe very large or small quantities. So this will be the basic definition, the simple definition for prefix will be. So also it makes easy. Why do we use prefixes instead of tens exponent? Because it makes it more easy and convenient to actually write it also, but it is easy when you're trying to explain to somebody else verbally, to another person. So let's say it is easier to say 7 kilometers to a person when you're trying to explain to another person verbally 7 kilometers instead of 7 times 10 power 3 meters. So the later one, the first one sounds a little more logical and more convenient instead of 7 times 10 power 3 meters. Now there is one SI base unit out of those 7 base units that uses a prefix with it. There's one in 7 base units. There's a unit that uses a prefix with it, and I hope you know that it's the SI unit for mass, kilogram. So SI unit for mass, kilogram. So basically kg, kilogram. So k and g, okay, so k is actually the prefix. The actual physical unit is actually the gram. So this basically implies that kilogram is actually 1000 grams. But if grams was too small, that's why they made it into kilogram. And if you haven't, I have already made video about the history of kilogram, and if you want to know more about it, check that video out. So now we have discussed the basic the main topic here. Let me just will be discussing a few of the prefixes that you might have come across. But if you want to know more about the prefixes, then I'm gonna share a Wikipedia link down in the description, which contains the complete table of prefixes. So for time being, I'm gonna make some short table for you guys with its full name and symbol, and many of you guys will recognize these kind of symbols in these kind of prefixes in your everyday to day lives. So that just we have tens power name, and we'll have symbol. So here we have beta p with tens exponent 15. So let me just write down the tens exponent. 9, 6, 3, 2, 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 6, minus 9. So here we have beta, tera with t. Here we have giga with tens power 10 exponent of 9, g, mega with capital M, kilo as we have discussed before with small letter k. We have hecto with small alphabet of H. We have deca with symbol with the alphabet DA, deci, D, and we have centi, small alphabet C. We have milli, again small m, and we have micro, which is given by the symbol, this symbol. Let me just zoom in it. Yes, this is the symbol. It's written as this. This is actually a Greek symbol, which is which is as read as mu. So this symbol is read as mu. So this is a Greek symbol which is used for micro. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, wait a second. Okay, sorry for the inconvenience. So where were we? Micro, and then we have nano, small n. So there are more prefixes that I have not written in this table. So if you want the full table, then you should check out at the Wikipedia video link that I will put down in the description below. So looking at the table, you might remember some of these prefixes and might have heard or read somewhere in your classroom textbooks or in other day-to-day lives, especially in the gadgets that we use. So let's take some example from everyday lives to make it just a bit more clear. So I'm gonna take a few of the examples here. Let's start with Terra. So Terra is always so you have heard it in a lot of the gadgets, the modern gadgets that we all use. For example, a lot of for example, the our laptops or computers and now have a hard drive or solid state drive of 1 terabyte. So that makes it more clear for it. For example, now the external hard drives are now are providing a space about 4 terabytes. So that's a lot. So terabyte is about 10 power 12 10 exponent of 12 bytes. So let's just write down 1 TB. Here you can get the idea, terabyte. Now we will have giga. So you already know 1 terabyte equals if you have used the computers. I know you guys have. So 1 terabyte equals 1000 gigabytes. So this is the giga here. So you can say about 500 GB of your hard disk space, GB, which means gigabyte. Also, when you talk about the processors here, the processor that you use on your computer or a laptop, they say that this processor is about 3.0 gigahertz or 3.1 3.0 3.1 2.9 gigahertz processor. So so that's also where the volt giga is used. So let me just write down fully. gigabyte, gigahertz, and in also in power stations as well as the gigawatts. And then we also got where it's used is in gigajet. Also, this is where the word giga is used in gigajet memes. I'm sorry, this is a joke. By the way, this is not where it's actually used in the giga. This giga is not used in gigajet. That's a meme, by the way. It's only used in meme. So don't write it in the exam or something like that in your test. This was just a joke. So next will be mega. Mega already you're with your file when you're downloading stuff, it says megabyte. Also when you use your smartphones, right? So it is also there as well, as you heard the words megapixel. So here there it is also used in mega, and then megawatt also, megawatts, and also megatons. Centi, mega, its tens exponent is 9, gigas tens exponent of 12. Sorry, you can also as I'm explaining to you, you can also look at the right side and you can see the tens exponent if I happen to forget to talk about it. So next we'll have centi. Always in your childhood, you guys, I also use some a ruler or a scale which always had a centimeter scales on it. So basically centimeter. Next will be milli. So milli also used in millimeter or a milliliter, mostly used in when you're talking when the newscaster is weather reporter is talking about the rain or something like that. Milliliter is also used there, and also in tablets in medicine here. For example, milligram, 100 medicine tablet about 100 milligram. Sorry, milligram. And the last one we'll talk about is the word nano. So nano is a popular word. I hope you have heard it in mostly in science fiction movies. The word nanotechnology. So basically means the technology that is in nanometers. For example, let's write it down. Nanometers. So the nanotechnology basically means technology that is as at the size of nanometers. We use nano here. Nanometers use it in microscopes when you're trying about to study cell. It is the length of the cell is nanometers, like that. Also in nanotechnology mostly. So the chips that we use in our smartphones and our laptops and our computers, the most mind-blowing things about that is that the chip, that the processor, that the CPU, center processing unit that we use in our laptops or mobile phones, their transistors are so small now that they are now roughly the size of 10 nanometers or even smaller. So you can imagine that the transistors in our chips are in nanometers. You have to use a microscope for it to see the actual transistors working. And this is basically it. I won't go any further because I have already taken about 20 minutes, approximately 20 minutes of your time. So this is the video of prefixes, and I hope you get the idea. So let me just just wrap it out for you guys. Prefixes are basically the symbols, specific symbols that are used to replace a specific tens exponent to make it sound more convenient and easier to understand for everyone else. So these are prefixes are for that, and this is the definition of prefixes, the video for it. And I really hope you guys found this video informative and useful. And if you do, then please like and subscribe to my channel. Also share with everyone else. And if you guys have any questions regarding this video, then you can comment down below in the video, and I'll try my best to answer for you guys. So thank you, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.